Imagine this. You roll out of bed, the world still soft and quiet, the first light creeping through the curtains. Your throat's dry, your body's stiff, and you reach for that trusty glass of water on the nightstand. It's a ritual as old as time. Pure, simple, healthy. Or so you think. What if that innocent sip, the one you've been told, is the key to a vibrant day, could actually be stirring up trouble beneath the surface? Not the water itself, mind you. It's not some villain in a glass. But the way you drink it, the habits you pair it with, the timing you swear by. Those little choices could be whispering chaos to your kidneys, your stomach, even your heart, especially as the years stack up and your body grows more particular. I'm not here to scare you off hydration. Water's still a miracle, a quiet hero in our daily lives, but there's a flip side we rarely talk about. A shadow to the morning routine so many of us cling to like gospel. Most folks sing its praises, flush out toxins, boost your energy, yet hardly anyone mentions the risks when it's done without care. Nausea that creeps in, a heartbeat that skips a little too fast, a strange fog that settles over your morning. For older adults, those over, say, 60 or 70, the stakes climb higher. Your body's waking up in a fragile dance, hormones shifting like tides, blood pressure finding its footing, electrolytes hovering low after a night of rest. Flood that delicate system the wrong way, and you might not feel the jolt right off. But it's there, simmering, waiting to surface as a cramp, a chill, or a weariness you can't pin down. Today, I want to pull back the curtain on 5 quiet mistakes, habits so common they've become invisible, that can turn your morning water from a gift into a gremlin. We'll walk through each one, step by step, with stories of real people who have felt the difference, so you can see it, feel it, maybe even recognize it in your own life. And stick with me to the end, because the 5th mistake, it might just flip your entire morning upside down in the best way possible. If you've ever wondered why your stomach grumbles after that first sip, why your hands tremble, or why you feel off without a reason, this is for you. Let's dive in, gently of course, and uncover what your body's been trying to tell you all along. 1. The icy shock you don't see coming. Picture this. It's 6 a.m., the air's cool, and you're shuffling to the kitchen in your slippers. You yank open the fridge, grab a bottle of water so cold it's sweating in your hand, and down it goes. A crisp, bracing gulp that snaps your eyes wide open. Feels good, right? Like a splash of winter on a sleepy morning. But here's the catch. Your body doesn't love it as much as you do. Overnight, while you were dreaming of sandy beaches or that argument you finally won in your head, your insides settled into a calm, cozy rhythm. Your stomach's dormant, your blood vessels are snug, your cores humming along at a gentle pace. Then, bam! Ice-cold water hits like a bucket tossed on a napping cat. It's a shock your system didn't sign up for. That chill tightens your stomach muscles, squeezes your blood vessels just as they're trying to stretch awake, and forces your body to scramble, burning energy to warm things back up. For a 30-year-old, it might be a blip. But if you're 78 like Clara Hensley, it's a different story. Clara, a retired librarian with a laugh that could fill a room, used to start her day with a frosty glass straight from the fridge. She'd sit on her porch, watching the robins peck at the grass, savoring that sharp chill as it cleared the cobwebs from her throat. But then the cramps started, little knots in her belly that turned her mornings sour. Her fingers would go cold too, and by 9 a.m., she'd feel sluggish, like her digestion was stuck in mud. "I thought it was just age," she'd say, shaking her head. You know, the usual creaks and groans. Then her doctor, a wiry man with a knack for asking the right questions, suggested she try room temperature water instead. Clara was skeptical. She liked her jolt, but after a week, the knots unraveled. Her hands stayed warm. Mornings felt lighter, like her body was saying, "Thank you for not startling me awake." See, cold water isn't evil, it's just impatient. It demands your body react when it's still rubbing the sleep from its eyes. For Clara, that switch was a revelation. Sometimes the smallest tweak can soothe what you didn't even know was aching. So next time you reach for that icy bottle, pause. Let it sit a minute. Give your organs a gentler hello. They've earned it after all these years. 2. The rush that leaves you reeling. There's something satisfying about a big, hearty gulp. Water cascading down your throat, filling you up fast, like you're checking hydration off your to-do list before the day even starts. Maybe you're standing by the sink, hair still a mess, chugging a full glass in 10 seconds flat. Efficient, right? But here's the twist. Your body's not a race car waiting for a pit stop. When you wake up, it's more like a sleepy orchestra. Strings tuning, drums stirring, every part easing into sync. Dump a flood of water in too fast, and the whole performance stumbles. Your stomach bloats, your kidneys blink in confusion, your heart hiccups as it adjusts. This is especially true for folks like Henry Grayson, a 74-year-old ex-coach who treated mornings like a drill sergeant's roll call. Henry was a man of habits. Up at dawn, a quick stretch by the window, then a full bottle of water downed before his coffee brewed. He'd stand there in his plaid pajamas, gulping with purpose, proud of his discipline. But then the dizziness crept in. Some days he'd sway as he walked to the couch, a faint buzz in his head he couldn't shake. "I'm not dehydrated," he'd grumble to his wife, Ellen, who'd raise an eyebrow over her tea. "I drink more water than a camel." It wasn't until a checkup that the pieces clicked. He was overwhelming his system before it could catch its breath. Henry's doctor suggested sipping instead. Small, steady pours over 20 minutes. At first, Henry scoffed. "I don't have time to baby my water," he said. But he tried it, sitting at the kitchen table, watching the steam rise from his mug. The dizziness faded. No more bloat, no more jitters. It was like his body sighed in relief, absorbing each drop instead of bracing against a tidal wave. See, gulping throws off your electrolytes, those tiny balances that keep you steady. For older folks whose kidneys don't bounce back as fast, it's a strain you don't need. So tomorrow, try this. Pour your glass, sit down, breathe. Sip like you're savoring a story, not racing to the end. Your body will thank you with a calm you didn't know you'd lost. 3. The plastic trap hiding in plain sight. Let's set the scene. Your bedroom at night, the clock glowing 2:17 a.m., a faint hum from the heater in the corner. By your bed sits a plastic water bottle, maybe one you've refilled a dozen times. Its label peeling like old wallpaper. It's convenient, a little sentinel promising hydration when you wake. But here's the sneaky part. That bottle's been stewing all night, maybe catching a sliver of moonlight or the warmth from a lamp. By morning, it's not just water you're drinking. It's water with a whisper of something else. Chemicals like BPA or its cousins in BPA-free plastics start leaching out when heat and time team up. They're tiny intruders, endocrine disruptors that slip into your system and play havoc with your hormones. For someone like Victor Malone, an 80-year-old widower who loved his routines, this was a shock. Victor kept a battered plastic bottle by his bed, refilling it from the tap, letting it sit under a reading lamp he forgot to turn off. He'd wake to the sound of sparrows, sip his water, and shuffle to the kitchen, feeling virtuous. But then the headaches started, dull throbs behind his eyes, and his stomach bloated no matter what he ate. His daughter, Lila, a nurse with a sharp eye, spotted the bottle one visit. "Dad, how long have you been using that thing?" she asked, holding it up like evidence. A switch to a glass jug, kept fresh each morning, cleared the fog. Victor's energy crept back, and he even started whistling again, a habit he dropped without noticing. Those chemicals don't scream their presence. They whisper, building up over weeks, months, nudging your liver, your thyroid, your mood. For an aging body, every extra burden counts. So tonight, ditch the plastic. Grab a glass or a stainless steel tumbler. Fill it fresh when you wake. It's a small shift, but it's like clearing clutter from a room you didn't know was crowded. Peace of mind tastes better than convenience ever could. 4. The medication mix-up. You might miss. Mornings are sacred, aren't they? That quiet stretch before the world rushes in. When you're popping pills, blood pressure, thyroid, maybe a little something for the knees. You chase them with water, figuring you're doing it right. But here's where it gets tricky. The dance between your meds, your stomach, and that glass of water is more delicate than you'd guess. Guzzle too much on an empty belly right after, and you might feel queasy. Sip too little, or pair it with last night's heavy dinner, and the pill might not even work like it should. Your stomach's not just a chute, it's a finicky chemist, balancing acids and timing and absorption. Take Evelyn Porter, an 82-year-old with a garden that could win awards. She'd wake to the scent of dew on her roses, swallow her thyroid pill with a big glass of water, and get to work pruning. But every morning, like clockwork, nausea hit, waves that left her leaning on her spade, wondering if she'd eaten something off. Her blood tests were fine, her diet was steady, but the queasiness lingered. Her doctor dug deeper and found the culprit. Evelyn was flooding her empty stomach too fast, too soon. A tweak, small sips with her pill, then a 45-minute wait before oatmeal, changed everything. The nausea vanished, and her latest labs showed her meds finally hitting their mark. Your body's waking up, still fragile from the night's fast. Some pills need food to cushion them, others need space, but not a deluge. Get it wrong, and you're either irritating your gut or shortchanging your health. So tomorrow, check your labels. Sip, don't chug. Give your stomach a moment to breathe. It's not about overthinking. It's about listening to the quiet cues you've been brushing off. 5. The breakfast skip that drains you dry. Here's a confession. I used to think skipping breakfast was noble. Wake up, drink water, power through till lunch. Lean, mean, disciplined. But for someone like Nora Fielding, a 71-year-old artist with a studio full of half-painted canvases, it was a slow unraveling. Nora read somewhere that water kickstarts your metabolism, so she ditched her toast and eggs for a tall glass and called it fasting. At first, the scale dipped, a little victory, but then the fog rolled in. By 10 a.m., she'd be staring at her brushes, forgetting why she'd picked them up. Her mood sank, her hands shook, and her son, Jamie, noticed she'd repeat stories over dinner. Nora's doctor saw it clear as day. No fuel, no fire. After a night of fasting naturally, your body's running on fumes, glucose low, brain begging for a boost. Water's a spark, but it's not kindling. Without food, say a scrambled egg or a warm bowl of oats, you're asking your system to run on empty. For seniors, Juggling meds or slower metabolisms, it's a gamble. Nora added a small breakfast back in, berries and yogurt, simple and bright, and the fog lifted. Her brushstrokes steadied, her laughter returned. "I didn't realize how much I was missing," she told Jamie, grinning over her easel. "Water alone can't carry you. It hydrates, sure, but it's not the protein or carbs your brain craves. Skip breakfast, add coffee, and you're jittery by noon, blaming age or stress when it's just hunger in disguise. So tomorrow, pair that glass with a bite. Something small, something steady. Watch how your day shifts when you feed the fire, not just fan it." 6. The mindset that ties it all together. Let's step back for a moment. You're standing in your kitchen, the kettle humming, the world outside waking up slow. You've got your water, room temp, sipped gently, in a glass you washed last night, and maybe a slice of toast waiting. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, one we don't always see: how you think about it all. See, mornings aren't just routines. They're promises you make to yourself. And if you're like Thomas Adler, a 68-year-old mechanic turned gardener, that promise can slip through the cracks. Thomas used to guzzle cold water from a plastic jug, skip breakfast, and wonder why his joints ached and his temper flared by noon. "It's just how it is now," he'd mutter, kicking dirt off his boots. But one spring, his granddaughter Sophie changed the game. She was 9, all freckles and questions, and she'd trail him through the garden, asking why he didn't eat with her. One day, she handed him a warm mug of water, like tea, Grandpa, but plain, and a biscuit she'd saved. He humored her, sipping slow, nibbling beside her on the porch. The ache eased, his mood softened. It wasn't magic, it was care, hers then his own. Thomas started small: fresh water, a boiled egg, a moment to sit. By summer, he was weeding with a whistle, Sophie giggling at his side. Your mindset shapes the ritual. Rush it, and you're punishing yourself without knowing. Savor it, treat it like a gift, and you're building a foundation. Age doesn't just demand adjustments, it invites them. Thomas learned that from a kid with a biscuit and a grin. So tomorrow, don't just hydrate. Think about why. Hold that glass like it's a handshake with your body. A quiet, "I've got you." Add a bite, a breath, a bit of warmth. Watch how it ripples through your day, not just in your gut, but in your soul. Final thoughts. Mornings are yours to shape. A canvas of light and possibility. Water's a brushstroke, not the whole picture. Get it right, and it's a steady glow. Calm digestion, a heart that beats even, a mind that hums clear. Get it wrong, and it's a smudge. Subtle at first, then stubborn. As we age, our bodies don't shout. They whisper. That cramp, that chill, that fog, they're not flaws. They're messages. Clara found peace in warmth. Henry reclaimed his balance with patience. Victor shed his headaches with a simple swap. Evelyn tuned her timing. Nora fed her spark. Thomas tied it all with intention. You're not the you of 20 years ago, and that's a gift. You've got wisdom now, the kind that listens, adjusts, thrives. Maybe it's sipping instead of chugging. Maybe it's a glass over plastic, a warm pour over ice, a nibble before you rush out. These aren't rules, they're invitations to meet your body where it stands today. Try one tomorrow. Feel it, not just follow it. You're here, still learning, still growing, still caring. That's strength no glass of water can measure. So tell me, what stuck with you? What will you tweak? Drop it below, because your story keeps this one alive.